My first folding knife. And then my first fixed blade. So we'll go ahead and sharpen the fixed blade. We'll see how uncomfortable this is going to be. Let's go grab the other stone real quick. The one for reprofiling. So we'll be sharpening 2 knives tonight. One is this one that I made out of one of those Diablo cutting blades. Fishy fingers, what's up? I hate to interrupt a stream like this. However, it has come to my attention that if I don't go fix this problem now, I might not be able to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the garage and I'm going to use a diamond burr and make a sharpening choil right there. And because the spray stuff that I use has alcohol in it, and it'll take the line off. So I'll be back in a couple minutes. All right. Now that that sharpening choil is done, Oh. Louie, what's up? Michael, how's it going? Nice. I think I've decided my next large purchase is going to be a large and cozy. This is going to take quite a while. So let's take a break on that. It's a 120 grit. It is indeed very coarse. Dan Stan, what's up? Yeah, I definitely feel bad for this one. Elmer, what's up? How's it going? Well, I'm finally starting to apex, so my neighbors. We're getting there. It's about time to move up to 400 grit. Then we'll see if I can finish it on that tiny stone. Yep, 1095 actually takes some of the nastiest edges out there. All right. Eagle Scout, what's up? Oh, Michael, if you're still here, you should probably be getting your stuff by Wednesday. And Cody, I have yet to ship yours out because the place was closed yesterday. I don't know. It's my neighbor's knife. And he found it. So I think his wife found it. I am a knife collector, yep. I stopped streaming for a while when I was sick last month. I had a cough that made me lose my voice. That one cough that I got last year, or the year before, or whenever it was, I was pretty sure I was dying. Lost my voice, coughing up blood, like about all the shit that says you're probably gonna die. Okay. I think we're past that now. And we can see what that tiny stone will do for me. I mean, extra large, beefy stone. I don't need a bigger stone. I just need to focus on certain spots. You should sharpen it if it's dull. You say that. I can feel where the problem is. Right there. And I do nothing less than my best. That is what I attempt to do every time. I want to be scared of using it. Now it can take a strop. After gentle passes. It has been some time. How do you like the stuff I sent? I don't remember what I sent you, but I remember that I sold you some stuff, so. Roy, what's up? How's it going? It could be better. Oh, yeah, that one. Just the most expensive knife I've ever sold on the channel. No big deal. I'd argue that that's the luckiest coincidence I've ever had. I'm not going to say it's the most I've ever made on a knife. Pretty up there, though. And it's probably one of the nicest fixed blades I've ever held. The guy that sold that to the pawn shop has sold a few more knives to the pawn shop. There are 2 Spyderco Sutherlands at that pawn shop right now. I think the 80 20.5 already sold. There's a Jake Hoback Sumo for a pretty decent price. That was hilarious. I'd been looking at that thing for a few weeks, months even. It was sitting there for a while. And I'm like, I'm never going to be able to sell this thing anyway. So I just stopped thinking about it. I can see what I can do. Um, there might be one at another local pawn shop. I got to talk to my buddy because he just sold a shit ton of his knives to the pawn shop. Made a decent chunk of money. It was funny. We were talking yesterday about taxes, and he said for the past like 5 or 6 years or something, he's owed like 6,000 in taxes. Then he got divorced, and then this year he had a refund of $40. His ex-wife sent him an email or a text saying, "These taxes are a lot. I owe like $3,000 in taxes." So he's sitting there like, "Oh, I'm not looking forward to this." And so that's why he panic sold a crap ton of his knives. And turns out he got a refund. That's just so funny to me. Yeah, this ain't gonna cut it. Gonna have to go back down to the 400. Yep. But it's knives that he bought to resell anyway. And he made a profit, so I don't feel bad for him or anything about it, because, you know, he's all good. But I am a little irritated that he didn't give me a chance to buy. There was a Benchmade titanium frame lock, and I'm sure I could have got that thing for like $200. And now it's at the pawn shop now for like $350 or something. See, to me personally, I think marriage is just off the table. My knife collection is quite expensive, and I don't think it's worth having the chance of losing it. And with the fact that the knife company hasn't fully gone into moving, that means if it was anytime soon, it would be a joint asset, and that's not okay with me. Next month, we should be getting some prototypes for a knife that Knives I Guess and I have been working on for over a year now. And if that thing goes into production and sells well, then I'll be talking to them about coming up with a budget. We can't guarantee that. What if you got married first? I've never done the Sharpie trick before. I've never needed to. But I want to make sure that I'm hitting that spot that is causing issues. And it's not an angle issue. It's a, I need to know where I'm supposed to be focusing issue. Because that's the only spot that isn't sharp. And I missed the edge. That side I hit it just fine. I'm missing the edge on one side. I think I got it that time. Oh yeah. Paper real quick. Okay. Now we'll step it up to the Arkansas stone again after I flatten it real quick. Around the cabin, not a whole lot. Just doing my burr removal passes before stropping. Let's not stab myself like that again. Yeah, that's not going to bleed. Life's been going all right. I got over that cough, so I'm doing fine now. Chef Rocky, what's up? Could be better. Not a whole lot better, though. Shaving sharp. Hope you're doing all right. Hey, while you're here, if you're still here, do you know of any titanium frame locks I should look into? Because at the moment, I'm thinking about getting a large Nkosi, but you've got some more interesting stuff. I figured you might know of something I don't. Chef Rocky has quite the collection of expensive stuff. Yeah, I don't own one of these either. Not bad. Definitely not bad. I think that's better now. Yeah, that's a lot better. Okay, I'm going to leave it at that because I don't want to go any further. Not that there's a chance that I'm going to screw it up, just more of I don't need to go any further. Now, as for you, Okay. Just for shits and giggles. I still have a lot of material to remove on this one. think I'll be finishing this another night. This is it was made from a Diablo blade that I cut out on a grinder, and then now I'm sharpening it from flat to an edge. It's just going to take a while. I don't have a belt sander, so I can't do it like that. Got a little bit of flex to it though. And because it's one of their bimetal blades, so it's made for cutting mild steel, which means it's got to have a decent heat treat. But yeah, it started off as a 9-inch Sawzall blade. Same with this one. This one started off as a 6-inch Sawzall blade. And then I'm going to be turning this into a folder. I think I'm going to go with brass. Yeah, probably. But I'm going for a specific angle. I don't think that I can hold a proper angle with a file. keep seeing those heart emoji things out of the corner of my eye, but I can't tell if it's actually somebody doing them or just me seeing things. They always disappear just before I look. Oh, this is going to take forever. Well, thank you. This is one of those times where I'm tempted to use one of those carbide V sharpeners, because I know it would get it done quicker. But if I do that, it's not going to have the right angle. I've thought about it. I don't have anything else to do this with, though, so I'm stuck doing it on stones. Now I'll stick with what I'm doing. It's going to take a while. That's okay. It's pretty even, which I'm pretty happy about. I do, but again, I want the right angle. I don't want any screw ups. Why am I using this? And I could be using a 140 grit diamond plate. I don't think sandpaper is going to do it any faster. AB124, what's up? Homemade. If you're asking which company I would pick, probably Ontario. If you're asking who made the knife, neither. I did. Still needs a handle. Not an old saw blade. I bought this specifically to do this. It was a $6 saw blade. Yeah, 5. Well, I like how it's turning out so far. It needs a handle. But my thought was, those Diablo blades are made for cutting they're made to cut mild steel, so I figured they've got to have a decent heat treat. And this is a lot more flexible than any of my folding knives. So they don't what? Ontario Knife Company's still around. Oh yeah, this will be fine for light everyday use. It'd probably be really good for food. Not quite enough flex for a fillet knife, but for everyday food stuff, I'm sure this thing will do great. And I'm doing a full candy grind. I either need to take a break for a minute or I need a pair of gloves. Because this being as thin as it is not very friendly for the fingers. Where's my band-aids? Kevin, what's up? There they are. Nope, that's not band-aids. You know, the whole reason I bought these band-aids was for them to be close and within reach in case something bad happens. And then I covered them up with a bunch of shit. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 2, that's 3, close enough. Okay. Okay. Then we'll keep a spare just in case. I think we're almost halfway there. think I'm going to be done for the night. This is really starting to suck. Oh, tender. Really tender fingers. You know, I can see why people do this on belt sanders. This shit sucks. But if I do it by hand, then I have a perfect angle. And if I don't, it'll be my first time sharpening something on a rotating assembly, and I'm gonna fuck it up miserably. I don't know. Right here and right here. This thing took a nasty edge too. Now what's weird about it is, which I've noticed, it dulls over time. Yeah. I've decided I'm done with Case. Their quality control has gone downhill. I've been very disappointed. This thing doesn't hold an edge very long. At least one of the insane edges that I give it. But at least it gets there. Now, an interesting thing that I noticed, I don't think that this is 1095 like they claim it is. And the reason I say that is it didn't rust when I did something that would have caused rust. Their covers used to be good. There used to be almost no gaps on any of their models, and then they stopped caring. And the reason I assume that they stopped caring is because it's cheaper to not make things near perfect. Yeah, I don't think that this is 1095. I'll show you guys why. It'll take about 5 minutes. Well, my problem is that they claim it's 1095. It definitely isn't. But they're lying to me, and that's my problem. I'll show you. Just give me a minute. Gonna need this. And we're gonna need this. $10.95 patinas quite quickly. So all we got to do is that. Then we'll let it sit there. And I'm gonna eat an apple. And here in about 5 or so minutes, we'll go back and look at it. And it's still going to be spotless. And it's not supposed to be. Because my mini sod buster started a patina within 2 minutes. You know what cuts an apple better than this? My case. It's been 2 minutes. The blade should be black and blue by now. This is a stainless steel. We'll take it a step further here in a minute. They also claimed it was in G10. 1095 stainless steel blade. Make that make sense. $10.95 has 0 chromium in it. And the scales are made out of Delrin. They're not G10. So I got lied to twice. Actually, I got lied to 3 times. Because they claim that the blade is 3.625 inches. I think I checked this earlier. It's less than 3.5. Oh, yeah, no, they about got that right. I'm still disappointed. Spotless. No rust. No patina. Nothing. And it says it right there. CS. Carbon steel. Bullshit. This is stainless. You know, just for shits and giggles. Where's my pair of 3? We'll put some patina on my Maximate, because I want to show you guys how long it takes. So this thing's still spotless. It's been 7 minutes, 8 minutes. Okay, spotless. We'll leave it there. Do it on my 15V as well. And we'll just rub that apple around a little bit. And we'll leave it there. This one's already turning. It's been less than a minute. This one's turning. Right up here. That little dark spot, that's patina. Doing it on the backside too. It's a little harder to see on camera, but it's doing it. This isn't going to show up well on camera, but it's there. There's blue, there's yellow. And this thing's still spotless. So I'm going to wipe this one off because this one's actually starting to rust. That was less than 3 minutes, and it's starting to rust. From an apple. Got a little bit of color. It's not going to show up well on camera, but up here, that dark spot, a couple dark spots around. As for this one, this line from that down is a little bit darker because that's where the apple was. So it took 3 minutes, 4 minutes for this one to show some real color. It took less than 3 minutes for this one to start to rust. It's been 14 minutes and this one's still spotless. I love apple juice. What a shame. You know, a good chunk of the reason why I bought this knife was because it was claimed carbon steel. Because I wanted those pretty colors on my knife. Oh well. Even on their website, they claim that it's $10.95. Well, it sure as shit ain't $10.95, so. Now we have the question, do I call them out on it? Do I call them out on it? Or do I send them an email and ask what it really is? Because with the whole Bark River fiasco that just happened, imagine it's already happening again. I think I'm going to send them an email first. And if they can't tell me what steel it is, then I'll call them out on it. Cold steel isn't my lord and savior. But how's it going, Dean? Oh, that was good. Did you get the large one or the small one? I know there isn't a huge price difference between the two. So that the small one, I think. No, I told you earlier. Post office was closed yesterday. I got your message a little bit late, so it'll be shipped tomorrow. I wasn't sure if I was shipping it to you or the other guy, and I didn't have an address for the other guy. Yeah, there's two of them. I think one of them's $11 and the other one's $8. Let me double check that real quick. But yeah, I'm gonna send these guys an email. And ask them what steel it really is. I guess Blade HQ doesn't have those anymore. Sorry, I'm thinking of the Kudu. This one. So they have this one that's like $14. And I think that there's another one that's, yeah, the other one is non-locking. I think there's an even larger one. Nope, I was wrong. Doke, what's up? Oh, no big deal. I knew which knife you were talking about. I won't be buying one. I have another Twitch 3. It's not the same one. Unless you can get the stuff figured out this time. I've been a fan of extremely expensive knives lately. Okay. My local pawn shop has a Chris Reeve small Sabenza, a few Benchmades, an old Benchmade with a titanium frame lock. Damn. You know it's sharp when it cuts wet paper towels. No, it's not a sod buster. It's a Baron Son farmhand. You should tell them how to tell the difference between a fake one and a real one. I can show you the difference right now. So when you look at these, at the moment, this is about the biggest difference you'll find. This one's real. That little trademark R is tiny. On the fake ones, they're pretty big. This one's up for sale, by the way, if anybody's interested. Yeah, it's not a bad knife. I just don't appreciate that I was lied to about the blade steel. They claim it's $10.95. But $10.95 would take a patina, and this stuff didn't. So I also got another new knife. So this one's new, and this one's new. Rat 1.5 Magna Cut. They're relatively inexpensive. All right, we'll see you later, AB124. Yeah, I ordered this one and this one at the same time. I'm not usually into fixed blades, but I'm trying making one. See what I think. Still need to finish sharpening it. I might sharpen it on a grinder or something. I don't want to, but and yeah, this thing is very basic, which is one of the reasons why I got it. The other reason I got it was claimed to be 1095, and I really wanted that. And I got this one because it's in MagnaCut. Since this isn't 1095, I'll be going to the pawn shop and having the blade tested to see what the blade material really is. I'll also be sending them an email tonight asking what the blade steel is because it's not 1095. I want 1095 because it looks pretty when it has a patina on it. And I wanted MagnaCut because why not? It's currently the cheapest MagnaCut on the market. And hopefully not for long. I think I have a Western that I need to get rid of, but it's huge. I'm not 100% sure if I still have it or not. But it was a big knife. But I've been enjoying this one. Other than the scales, they're a little too aggressive for me. Squeak. I'm curious what you guys think about grade 2 titanium. I know most folding knives, if they claim they're using titanium, they're saying it's grade 5. And grade 5 is good for toughness. But grade 2 is for corrosion resistance. And I've only seen it used in a folding knife once. At least that they openly claim that that's what they use. Titanium can be relatively inexpensive. Like this one right here. It's 88 bucks. It's just not the kind of knife for me. And I don't want 10 CR. Look at that picture. Because you're going to be using nails like that to move the lock bar out of the way. That is a horrible picture. I should save it. Yeah, that bothered me. I'm thinking about getting, I've said it a few times, I think. There's a couple options I have. Either Hinder Eclipse or a Chris Reeve large and Cosi with the Insingo blade shape, of course. It's not that. It's that I was saving up for a Millet Overland, and then I had the money to buy it, but I didn't get the email saying when they dropped. So I missed the drop. And now I have 450 bucks sitting there with nothing to do with it. I'm a little mad about that. Yeah, it sucks. You think I want to have $450 in my wallet? Because I don't. Definitely not. What kind of person do you take me for? Somebody that's financially responsible? Gross. I'm disappointed that you look at me that way. You should be ashamed. I'm responsible enough to, how do I put that? I'm not in debt. I don't go into debt to buy these things usually. Sometimes I take out a personal loan with a family member, and then once the knife sells, I pay them back, and then I make my money. Speaking of knives that I owe money on, that Emerson is still here. And I'm starting to doubt that I'm going to be able to sell it. Probably not. Then I have one less moderator. Yeah, but I don't like Microtech. They're uncomfortable. The switches on those things are horrible. Especially with me and my soft hands. My buddy was just complaining about the infidel switch yesterday. Said that it's too boxy. Yeah, the Claymore OTF, I wouldn't buy it. What does what mean? I'm going to stick with my folding knives for now. See, the thing is, if I pull out my knife in public to show somebody my cool new knife, people don't really blink an eye. But if I pull out my new gun to show it off to people, then for some reason that's frowned upon. Well, I said public. Anyway, what I'm currently searching for is a set of titanium scales for this. Look, if I want to go to the water park with a firearm, I should be allowed to. If I want to carry my Chris Reeve Sabenza in the pool, I should be allowed to. And the moment some concerned parent tells me to put away, I should be able to pop in the mouth for it too. Tell them that my knife costs more than their phone, and leave it at that. Hell, my knife costs more than my phone. Tell them that my knife costs more than the ambulance ride I'm about to send them in. Oh, it bit me. It's mine now. It's officially mine. Woohoo. Well, now I'm not allowed to get rid of it. Not that I plan to. It's the least expensive Magna Cut in my collection. But yeah, I was doing this. I was closing it like this, and it just slipped out, and then tap. That'll heal up pretty quick, though. It'll be gone by like Tuesday. But yeah, if any of you guys don't have one of these, I recommend trying it out. Yeah, it already stopped bleeding. We're good. It's $100. Well, so was I, but at the time I didn't have the money for it. $100 was a lot of money. And then I checked my bank account this month and I had like $200 sitting there. And I was like, hey, I could have $100 less than that. Why not? I can justify it for you. I have 3 justifications right now. They're made in Taiwan. Says it right there. Taiwan. Would you like my my excuses for why you need one? Or do you just want to save up and buy something else from me? Starship Hunter, what's up? So my excuses for you to buy one are: 1, we'll have matching knives. Yep, that's right. You'll have a matching knife with your favorite YouTuber. Number 2, it uses the same steel and the same heat treat as the Chris Reeve knives for $400 less. And third, no, shipping's gonna be like $6. That's why it's $100 knife. They're $95.95 at Blade HQ and $94.95 at Knife Center. And my last excuse to buy one is the size of this thing is right smack dab in the middle. Yeah, it's a farmhand. It's a Baron Sun farmhand. So the size of this is smack dab in the middle of the Rat 1 and the Rat 2. It's perfect. No, this one has a lockback. The Sodbuster doesn't. This thing takes a nasty edge, but they claim that it's 1095 and it's not. So they got the steel wrong. All three of these are on washers. The Rat 1, the 1.5, and the 2. So this one has phosphor bronze and nylon washers. I think that this one's just phosphor bronze washers because of how smooth it is. And then this one has the nylon and phosphor bronze as well. What I think I'm going to try on this one real quick. So I'm going to take it apart and take those nylon ones out and see how it reacts to that. Zara, what's up? Haven't seen you in a bit. So the nylon sits between the phosphor bronze and the blade because nylon is a self-lubricating or whatever the hell they want to call it material. I actually had a decent amount of people show up tonight. Probably has something to do with those heart emojis, but I'm not 100% sure. Is that like a copy and paste thing that you have now? Well, work smarter, not harder. You know what was really funny was, what year was Dr. Disrespect canceled? Was that 24 or 25? I think it was 24, but I'm not 100% sure. Anyway, the year that he got canceled, me, Knives, I guess, and a few other YouTubers figured out that if you said Dr. Disrespect in the comments of somebody's stream, an extra like 15 people would show up. And until they patched it, we abused the shit out of that. But what ended up happening was I spammed it along with the emotes in Knives, I guess, stream. He ended up with like 130 people in the stream. It was the highest he'd ever hit at that point. Really impressive numbers. I never really watched the guy. Apparently, I have this sense where I just know that certain people diddle kids, I guess. Oh, did you hear that this guy did this to a child? And I'm like, never heard of the guy. Sometimes you don't always need to clean the washers. You just grab a washcloth or something and then wipe them around on the washcloth. It's not super complicated. Just wipe them off. They'll be fine. This might just work. So those are the nylon ones that were in there. Yeah, I guess that cut didn't stop bleeding. It's a lot more red in person than it is on camera. I wonder why. It's like the color red is really muted on stream. Like that icon, the word icon right there is so much brighter in person than it is on stream. I didn't watch that show for very long. I don't think it lasted very long. Oh yeah, I'll be fine, but I have I have comfort mode on my phone turned on, so the blue light is dampened. Because apparently that helps you go to sleep faster. Yeah, I'm definitely not doing that. And this thing definitely needs those washers in there. Or else the blade's going to sit there and rub. Yeah, this isn't going to work. I was hoping I didn't have to take it all the way apart again. That might work. I'm not going to do that right now, though. No, I don't have a belt sander. If I used a belt sander for that, I would send shit flying everywhere. Yeah, but why use a fixture when you just don't? You know what, one thing I am like deathly afraid of getting with a new knife? Bad centering. Just it happening on a brand new knife like this one. The centering's pretty good, but if I pulled it out of the box and it wasn't centered, I know it's kind of stupid, but that means that there's quality control issues. Jin knives, they are holding on to 3 out of 18 of the prototypes because the centering wasn't good enough. I think I'm just going to say wait to ship until we can get those 3 finished. The other ones have stonewashing problems. And those ones probably can't be redone. Although I'd still like to have them for user knives. That way I get to use it properly and not feel bad about it. Dude, the HRC numbers were good. 62. Yeah. 10C or 9CR at 62 HRC. Ooh. Oh, we've got pictures of them. They're in yellow. I'll get some pictures pulled up here real quick. Give me a sec. How tough is it? At 62 HRC, I'm not 100% sure. I'll check that here in a minute. Just a sec. There's some. Sorry, 61 HRC. I was off a little bit. So here's what they look like with a giant prototype word on the front of the blade. So that's what they look like. They have a wire clip that should fit the Spyderco clips as well, which, if I'm not mistaken, will also fit all of the aftermarket support for the Spyderco lightweight models, specifically the ones with the wire clips. So this took, for me to 3D model this, took 96 hours. And yeah. And then it took, I think, a little over a year to get it released, or to get it prototyped. Now, if this goes well and these actually sell well, like I said, I would like to have my own model released that I don't have to work with somebody else on, just me and them. See, I'm fine with waiting a little bit if we get 3 more, just for waiting like a week. And I want to know what's wrong. Because I'd like to have the ones that have issues. At least 2 of the 3 that have issues. There's 6 total. 3 of them have stone washing problems, and then 3 of them have centering problems. And I'll probably be buying one off of Amazon specifically so that I can check quality control on that. Both. It's the first, as far as I know, it's the first knife on the market to come with both options. You can choose which ones you put in. Which I think is badass. I've never seen that before. Oh wait, no. Who was it? I don't think it was Emerson. It's oh, what's the damn guy's name? Hinderer. I think Hinderer does that. Now that I think about it. It'll be the first budget knife though. Well, okay, so the reason we went with that was because I wanted washers, and knives, I guess, wanted um, bearings. And I said, I thought we made it clear that it's going to be washers because of dirt. Dirt is an issue. Apparently, he really wanted bearings, and I said, okay, fine. And I said, what I did was I made the washers on this thing big. They're big, big. I think 5 millimeters. Let me grab a. grab this real quick. I'll show you guys what 5mm looks like. They're not small at all. And then as an option, you can remove the washers. No, it's bigger than 5. What was it? I know we have pictures of it. Pictures. I put a lot of time into this thing. Okay. Oh, I prefer washers too. So if you look on here, that cutout is for the bearings. That circle right there. And then this is the cutout for the washers, which is double the size of the bearings. Right? So more surface area. My biggest issue that I had with bearings is I don't like blade play at all. It is a huge concern to me. Right? So I decided that washers were the way to go. I didn't realize that he really wanted bearings until like 2 months before we went into prototyping. I thought he was just kind of agreeing with me, but he wanted bearings. And then, like, just before they started working on actually making them, he changed his mind. It all worked out in the end. Oh, sure. But I don't like dealing with it. And the problem with that is, I'm sure I know what you mean. Tolerances are highly dependent with helping with that. The only reason this one is as smooth as it is, it's all dependent on the backspacer thickness. It's not an expensive process. It really isn't. It's a consistency process. And the way that you get it right is by what you're going to want to do when you make them. This one is insanely smooth. The thickness of this backspacer is the exact thickness of the between the liners up here. It's the exact thickness. That's the only reason why this thing is as smooth as it is. Now, I'm concerned about their quality control on that. So what I'm going to have them do, if they can't pull it off right, is make them a little big by about 1mm. Make them too thick by about 1mm. And what that causes is a little bit of blade play, just a little bit when it's closed, but none when it's open. And those of you guys who choose to listen and pay attention to that, you can thin it by about 1mm and then it'll be perfect. Nope, it's got to be higher tolerances than that. They're not like, you got to keep in mind, this is a $40 knife. we're not dropping, or we're not spending extra time where we don't have to. We'll go with maybe a half a millimeter. Maybe you're right on that. But I don't want it like this one where it was no, you're right. It's got to be like barely anything. Tolerances on this thing sucked. The other one was okay. That one sucked though. I gotta measure something real quick. OEM is, I think Jin do it themselves in house. I'll ask them if they're the OEM or not. I've been pretty happy with their products though. So what was this? Okay, so it has to be, the difference has to be 0.05 millimeters. That's the tolerance. And it has to be that large. It can't be any thinner. It has to be thicker than the pivot area. It has to be. That's not an option. Yep. It's doable. Maybe 0.1. But 0.1 millimeters maybe. I know it sounds like it's a small deal, and it kind of is. Perfectly flat can be fixed by hand once you have it. But yeah, I'd like for it to be as flat as possible. The backspacer on it is huge, by the way. It is, I think, the largest backspacer I've ever seen on a knife, short of Strider's. Because this backspacer is just massive. Yeah, these are Harbor Freight knives that I did some custom work with. This one actually has an issue with the bearings. You shouldn't be able to hear them. Yeah, that one's for sale. So yeah, this one you shouldn't be able to hear the bearings in, but because they screwed up, it's 130. This one you cannot hear the bearings at all. And you can hear the difference between the two. You shouldn't be able to hear this. The backspacer's too thin. That's what's causing the sound. For a $40 knife, though, after a little bit of custom work, yes, exactly. It's pinching on this side, just slightly. This one's perfect, though. Well, I had it drop shutty the other day. Faro, what's up? I think that guy thought 130 was too much for it. That sucks. I've been trying to get rid of that thing for a little bit. According to everybody I've talked to, that's a pretty reasonable price for it. I mean, kinda. I try to beat everybody else's prices anyway. You got to keep in mind on some of these things, I'm not making shit. I wasn't in your feed because I was sick and I stopped live streaming. This was the worst knife I've ever gotten from a manufacturer. Consistency wise, this thing sucked. I had to do my own custom work on it to make it right. Oh, it was bad. Speaking of, I should probably flatten the washers because I never ended up doing that. I was kind of hoping I'd sell this thing tonight. Oh well. Anyway, get me one of the glass plates. That one's too rough. No clue. But I'm just going to not worry about it. Better off that way, not worrying about it. Nice. I think I got 1200 last night. I haven't uploaded in a while. 80's pretty good though. Especially for someone who just started. I didn't even have a phone. I don't think I touched a phone until I was 5. And then I got in trouble for touching it because I called somebody. Pro tip to all those 5-year-olds out there that are touching home phones: don't. Yeah, this thing isn't flat at all. Not a whole lot I can do to help with that. I think he said he was drinking with one of his buddies. He seems to think that his friends are more important than me. You know what LUL just auto-corrected to? So it got auto-translated from LUL to dick. That's funny. I did not see that coming. And then if you're going to put your Strider back together like a pro, you're going to put it together the same way you put together a Chris Reeve. Just with a lot more of a pain in the ass. Because of course things can't be simple. Yeah, see, Farwa knows what's up. You don't even know my last name, let alone my middle name. Your favorite color is your last name? That's a little weird. Welcome back. It's a fake strider. Breaking this one in wasn't fun. I'd take a ZT, just about any ZT over any strider, because these things kind of suck. I've been extremely disappointed with the lock stick situation on these. And if the real ones are anywhere near as bad as this fake one, I don't want one. It's the whole reason why I bought this, was I wanted to see what the lock stick was like. And once I tried it out, the lock stick was pretty bad. It took so much custom work to make this thing decent. And if the real ones are anywhere near that bad, I'm not going to touch them. The problem is the Striders are known for lock stick. And I just don't want to deal with it. So lock stick is when you have one of these open and the lock refuses to push out of the way because it got stuck against the blade. I got cut earlier. And this is how you close it. You have to put your thumb in the way. Yeah, I got cut right there by this one. How many knives do I have in Magna Cut? I'm not doing a face reveal. Until I start a knife company, my face is pointless. You guys don't need to know what I look like. It doesn't benefit me or you guys at all. And even when I start the knife company, I might not do it then. It's good for the algorithm if you look good. If you're like a 7+, it'll benefit you. I'm not, so it won't benefit me. That dude doesn't have much longer before I have to get rid of this one. For you, 225. If the other guy doesn't take it. What I'm wanting is 250. You want more collabs? With who? It's actually really comfortable. Fits the hand really nice. I might chat with them again. I haven't seen them in my feed in a long time. Wonder how they're doing. Let me look them up real quick. Oh, they've been doing really short streams. Okay. And they're not getting as many views as they used to. Ooh, that's brutal. 126 views in an hour is not good. It's Stifler. Maybe. I'm probably going to end the stream here in a minute or two because it's late and I'm trying to fix my sleep schedule. You had to burb. I don't feel like showing that. Fine. There's 4 people. Oh, so basically what I did is I liquefied some skin and then put it into clay. And then I have something to play with. It's silly putty. Yep, once I end the stream, I'm going to go on to Facebook and I'm going to sit there and watch an AI voice read Reddit stories about divorces that went well for the guy. Gives me something to do. Squeak. Hold it, damn it. Fucking piece of shit. Yeah, that sounds about like something I would say. Maybe you shouldn't have done that, smarty. Let's find out what the pattern looks like on these knives. Like this pattern. Ooh. So this one's a steel frame locket. You might think it's titanium, it's not. How does the pattern on you look? It is pretty heavy. I think it's like 6 ounces, maybe 7. I'm gonna go wash my hands real quick. Here in about 2.5 minutes, I'll go ahead and end the stream. And I'm going to go on to Facebook and doom scroll for 45 minutes. No, 45 minutes. Then I'm going to go up and lay in my bed and doom scroll. I mean, go up and lay in my bed and try and sleep. Totally. No, I meant like 2.5 minutes, so we got 1.5 minutes left. I'm trying to work on my honesty, I promise. You should probably talk to a doctor about that. Unfortunately, I'm not a doctor. Good luck finding a stream with a doctor in it, though. Oh, don't forget to wipe, by the way. All right. That's going to be it for tonight's stream. Hopefully, you guys have a great rest of your night, day, morning, whatever it is. And see you in the next one.